$23.99 decent? I don't know, but $1.29 for the 50, which is cheaper again than the 750. I don't understand Total Wine math, but it's pretty interesting. So we've all been there looking at the whiskey at Total Wine and seen all the brands we've never heard of before, their Spirit Direct lines. So we thought it's Black Friday and it's all about getting the deal. Made me wonder whether or not any of the brands are worthwhile. Especially because there's almost always a coupon for all of these. So they're even cheaper. The last time I was there, I picked up as many of these 50s, Flyboys, airplane bottles, whatever you want to call them, that they have. And now this, of course, isn't every brand they have, but today is what we're trying. We've got Lonehand, Kings Creek, Buckhorn, Paddleford, Hayes Parker, a couple of the Winchesters, and Lazy River. These all range between 80 and 90 proof, so I'm going to use our 80 proof rubric Jim Beam Black. Really like this bottle. It is 86 proof, and you can find this for about $18 locally. So can any of these stand up to this great value whiskey? I've got a little note sheet here, which normally I don't do, but 8 whiskeys, want to keep track. So let's get started with 8 or 9 whiskeys in a very short period of time. All right, first up we have the Lonehand. And from Total Wine, they say, sour mash whiskey made in Tennessee using the Lincoln County process, maple charcoal filtered for a mellow, smooth flavor, oak aged for an easy sweetness, and a great strong whiskey character. Basically, every whiskey. Lonehand is a gold medal winner of the 2019 Los Angeles International Spirits Competition. It has 3.6 stars on Total Wine. It's been aged for a minimum of 12 months. It's of course made in Tennessee, bottled in Houston, Texas. It is 80 proof. You can find it for $16.99 for the 750 and $1.49 for the 50. Let's give Lonehand a shot. The nose is there, but not like super exciting, standard Tennessee whiskey, bourbon flavors. All right, I don't mind that. I'd be interested to know where it comes from. There's not any real information out there. But yeah, 80 proof. I mean, one day I might try this up against Jack Daniel's. It's a little different. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. As an 80 proof whiskey, the wood's tamped down compared to the Jim Beam Black, of course. Not much of alcohol burn, just a little bit. Little hint of sweetness. Nothing really stands out here. It's not as thin as you might expect for 12 months, but not too bad. Not too bad. $16.99 though, I'm not sure. This bottle does say that it is, you can't see this, but it does say that it is ranch crafted. That I'm sure means less than handcrafted means, which means nothing. So ranch crafted whiskey, give her a try. All right, next we have the Kings Creek Black Label 4-year whiskey. This is again another Tennessee whiskey from Total Wine. They say smooth, rich, delicately aged at least 4 years in a new American oak charred barrels and slowly filtered through charcoal chips for that caramelized, smooth, mellow finish. The perfect balance of sweet and oaky flavor, expertly crafted for easy sipping. This is won the double platinum from ASCOT, the American Spirits Council of Tasters, and has 4.1 stars. Aged 4 years, Tennessee, bottled in Princeton, Minnesota. Again, another 80 proof, $16.99 for the 750, $1.29 for the 50. Okay, so Kings Creek. More on the nose than the Lonehand. Getting a little wood off the nose. My palate's not great, but I do like whiskey. Okay, so this is much more smooth. It's got some of the edges polished off that the Lonehand does have. I wouldn't say that that is a positive necessarily. Finish, you get some of that wood flavor, oak on the back, and look, I would guess based upon some of the questions that were given at our last event that a novice who was serving basically was like, which is the best one? And they pointed to Uncle Nearest, and nothing wrong with Uncle Nearest at all. But it was because it had the least amount of burn rather than it being the best one. I don't mind the nose. The nose on this is superior to the Lonehand. But the flavor, I think, is less punchy, which you kind of want out of any kind of American whiskey. Very smooth, if you like that sort of thing. I like the finish. I got, whoa. Smooth until you do a Kentucky chew on it, I guess. It opens up a little bit, but like just easy sipper. I buy that. If you chew on it a little bit, the heat comes out like most whiskeys. Finish, I think, is better. Nose is better, finish is better, taste, I don't think as good. 4 year versus a year. That's kind of surprising. I'm just resetting my palate a little bit. I'm getting some great vanillas off of this after those two that I did not find in those at all. It's always nice doing that kind of comparison. And compared to this, these two are much, much thinner. I didn't notice it when I was drinking them, but much thinner. All right. Next up, Buckhorn Bourbon from Total Wine. Utilizing the finest corn, rye, and barley, Buckhorn is a true Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It has an amber color with hints of oak, spice on the nose, with taste of fruit and caramel, followed by a clean finish. It has apparently won a silver medal at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. It has 4 stars and is aged 36 months. This is done by Clear Springs Distilling in Louisville, Kentucky. That is owned by Buffalo Trace and Sazerac. It is 80 proof, $17.99 for the 750, so the same as Jim Beam Black, and $1.99 for the 50. So let's go, Buckhorn. Good nose, similar nose to the last one. Okay, I do get that caramel. Not really a bunch of vanilla there. Sweetness is really kind of tamped down more than I like. I think the nose is pretty good. Taste is all right. I like things a little bit sweeter, which is also why I'm not a huge Buffalo Trace person. I think that reads a little bit more woody than sweet. For my palate, of course. The finish just dies. Let's do a little chew here. Yeah, like even doing the chew, like it's there on the sides of the tongue, but like most of the finish is just flat. It just goes. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. Next up, we have Paddleford Creek Small Batch Bourbon from Total Wine. Starts out with aromas of toasted nuts, grain, and oak. Has a rich, slightly sweet, woody, full body taste with slight tobacco and earthy notes. The finish is long, rich, and glowing. Glowing. Sure, I've heard a glowing finish, but I'll be interested. I have had this before. It has 4 stars. There is no age statement here. It's distilled in Indiana and bottled in Minnesota. It is 83 proof. This is $23.99 for $7.50. Generally can find it on sale. But it is $1.29 for the 50, which, doing the math, is cheaper. No, like I said, no age statement. Does that mean it's 4 years or this is just an illegal bottling? If you know in the comments, let me know whether or not you think, like, do the 50s have to follow the same rules here as the standard bottlings? I imagine they do, so I don't know. I've had Paddleford before. Let's try it again. I didn't mind it the last time. Sort of getting this a little bit leathery note off the nose, but I'm not getting much. The nose is less pronounced as the others. All right, let's try it. Oh, I like the ooh, okay. The viscosity on this is much more of my liking. It's less thin. You definitely get like that sweet, nice note that you're looking for in a bourbon, or at least what I'm looking for in a bourbon. But the nose is pretty standard. I wouldn't say that the Jim Beam Black's nose is much better than anything else here. So I just got some toasted marshmallow off that, which is interesting. Ooh, I got it like a little citrusy. That's interesting. These are effectively my first drinks of the day. Haven't ate much, had a little bit of breakfast, but okay. Wisp of caramel, sweet. You know, I think this is pretty decent. Definitely as we go up the line here, viscosity, which is a thing I like. I like more of a creamy bourbon. Yeah, I'm good with that. I like that. Like I said, I've had it before, but it was like after many, many, many drinks, and somebody had given me one of these and went to like a street party and yeah, I think it's pretty decent. $23.99 decent? I don't know, but $1.29 for the 50, which is cheaper again than the 750. I don't understand total wine math, but it's pretty interesting. All right. Those, I like the taste better. That finish. Like I said, I didn't really detect much there. Getting way more vanilla off the Jim Beam Black, so than normal. But I think in comparison to the rest of these, that none of these so far have had any vanilla notes. Maybe that's just it. So next up, Hayes Parker Bourbon. Next up, Hayes Parker Bourbon. Now there are a couple different variations of Hayes Parker that Total Wine sells. This one is their standard one, I think. From Total Wine, a smooth, mellow, and unpretentious bourbon that is great on its own or in your favorite bourbon cocktails. So good on its own. It's a bourbon you can spend the rest of your life with. You'll mix better with Hayes Parker. This has won a gold medal at the San Francisco Spirit Competition, has 3.2 stars. There is no age statement on this bottle. This is made by Terra Sencha, Terra Pure Spirits in South Carolina. It is 90 proof. This is $11.99 for a 750 and 99 cents for the 50. This is the cheapest one in this comparison. I will say the 50, I'm not sure that anybody could read this. This is very hard to read. The bottlings on these have changed a little bit. There are very small text on this thing. It says Hayes Parker's genuine recipe. I might have to look into who Hayes Parker is and whether that's a real person, which would be amazing if that is not a real person and they says genuine recipe. And in the blue text it says so smooth and please enjoy responsibly. Okay. Jesus. I couldn't find out whether this was Terra Pure or not. I don't know. If you've had any of the Terra Pure spirits, which I have, and I believe America is one of those, it's sort of that process around, it's that ultrasonic process that they sort of think contributes sort of rapid wood extraction, aging. I have not found many of them to be, they're fine. Like if you hand it to me at a party or something like that, but I'm never going to buy that. So I'll be interested in this. The fact that there's no age statement and this is that Terra Pure process, there is no way they're putting like a 4-year in the barrel for $11.99. There's just no way. So I would assume that's an illegal bottling or labeling, whatever. Compared to the rest of these, no nose, none, 0. I mean, you can smell it, you can detect there's alcohol there, but all right. Okay. Well, that is interesting. I am getting like standard bourbon flavors out of this. I did not expect that. Viscosity is pretty good. Yeah, it does bump up to 90 proof though, so maybe that's just it. Maybe that's what the previous ones are missing, because I don't drink much less than 100. But, Nose though is nothing. I'm gonna admit something. The flavor of this is way better. The finish isn't so bad, and maybe it's because it's like a cheaper thing and it has a little bit hasn't been overly processed, brought, I don't know. So I'm gonna admit something. I think flavor-wise, that's better than these four. Nose is not. The nose is nothing. That's got like strong caramel notes. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad for $11.99. Okay. 0 nose, I'd say 2. And finish is fine. I just think like none of these are going to have crazy finishes, but that is okay. But that one, that's a real surprise. Have I been wrong about that TerraPure process? Or is it just that it's 90 proof and it's the first thing that is sort of more into my proof range? All right, next we have the Winchester Kentucky Bourbon. There are 2 different Winchester bourbons at Total Wine. We got both of them from Total Wine. This drink is of the highest quality and includes only the finest ingredients. Carefully selected for its distinctive flavor profile, this drink is distilled for a bold taste, smooth enough to be had alone or added as a delicious kick to your favorite mixed drink. All right, I'm starting to get loose here, as you can tell. All right, this has 3.8 stars, is aged a minimum of 1 year and 1 day. It is made by OZ Tyler in Owensboro, Kentucky. It is 90 proof, $19.99 for the 750 and $1.99 for the 50. Okay, 1 year, 1 day Winchester, and I've not tried any of the Winchesters, even though like Total Wine guys try and sell you on these things every time. That and 2 stars, which we don't have, I'm sorry. All right. Okay, so a different note than the rest of these. I am getting sort of a butter popcorn nose off this. Interesting. All right, so a year and a day. Okay. I would say that these are thinner, but there's almost no flavor to this. There's no burn. Ooh, butterscotch. There's that butterscotch, and maybe that's what it was. The nose, butter popcorn. What I was saying, butterscotch. That is it. That butterscotch flavor is there, but you really got to chew on it. Yeah, it's not bad, but $19.99. Unless I don't know. Yeah, I think it's fine. There's no finish that I can really detect. Young, It's young, but it doesn't have like young grassy characteristics like you might maybe expect out of some of the younger, cheaper things. It's all right. Next, we've got Winchester, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey from Total Wine, an expertly blended small batch Kentucky straight bourbon aged in American charred oak barrels, like most bourbon. This whiskey is smooth and flavorful, making a great cocktail or as a sipper on the rocks. Well, I am drinking this neat, so. This is 3.8 stars, aged a minimum of 2 years. Is made by OZ Tyler in Owensboro, Kentucky. This is 90 proof. This is $22.99 for the 750 and $1.99 for the 50. Time for Winchester, part 2. It's slightly different, but every man, that is butterscotch. I'm not getting as much butterscotch, but the nose is ramped up and it's really good. Ooh, I like that creaminess, but man, the flavor on that is just gone. The nose is not bad. There's no flavor in this to speak of. Caramel notes, as you might expect, but maybe, okay, I just caught that hint of butterscotch right on the finish. So the butterscotch moves from the nose and the flavor, the general flavor profile, to the finish, which is interesting. No wood to speak of. I mean, it's fine. I like the mouthfeel on this, but otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't buy that. So I think the nose is better. Like taste, there's nothing. Finish, basically nothing. Okay, last one, Lazy River Bourbon from Total Wine. Allocated and produced and aged in Bardstown, Kentucky. World capital of bourbon. Butterscotch nose, ripe apple, and white oak on the palate. Zesty, sweet, and a little bold. A good spice, rye kick with a bit of vanilla on a pleasing finish. From a limited allocation of 7,000 cases, which is $84,000 bottles. 84,000 bottles. All right. This was given a 90 rating by the Beverage Institute and has 4.1 stars on Total Wine. There is no age statement. It's made in Kentucky, bottled by the Distillers Products in Fairfield, California. It is 90 proof, $39.99 for the 750 and $199 for the 50, which is considerably cheaper according to the math, like 25% off or something. Because this was only $1.99, I bought this. If I had known it was 40 bucks for the 5th, I wouldn't have bought it, but it's here, so let's do it. Which makes me curious, can it stand up to an $18 beam? So I guess let's get lazy. All right. Very much more alcohol on the nose. Interesting. It's fine. Definitely more nose than that Winchester had, which is so strange, right? Ooh. Okay. Flavor-wise, this kicks the hell out of everything here, including the bean, in my opinion. It's fairly complex. There's caramel notes there, no vanilla to speak of. Oak for sure. Sweet. This is like straight line up my alley, except the nose is garbage. Not actual garbage, just not worth anything. Very little finish. Getting a little butterscotch there. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I don't mind this whiskey at all. I'd say certainly flavor-wise, it's the best. Is it worth $40? Probably not. I like a little bit more complexity if I'm gonna buy something over 40. Also, nose, I think, matters over that. All right, let's go through the thoughts. So, what I would say is, of these, I would recommend the Paddleford, though buy it on sale. I don't think it's probably worth the $23.99 for the 750. All the noses were like fairly unimpressive. Like I wouldn't be like surprised. Maybe my nose is off today. I don't know. Finishes, nothing terribly surprising here. The King's Creek, I think, had maybe the best finish. Let's get it. Yeah, King's Creek for sure. Longest finish, maybe the best. That Hayes Parker, though, was a real surprise. Like, I might bring this to the Bourbon Friday event, just to see what other people think of this. Yeah, Hayes Parker is the real surprise here. So, what I would say is, of these, the ones that are worth buying are the Paddleford, the Hayes Parker, which was very surprising. Very surprising. Like, I'm not sold on that Terra Pure process, but it's not bad. It's not bad, especially for $12. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. But then I mean, that Lazy River is what I would do. Is I would go buy Flyboys of this. I would not go buy a $40 bottle of that, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not $40 whiskey, which is a weird price range, right? I think you go up to about 30 and then it jumps to 50. Like, certainly you could find rare breed in that $40 to $50 territory, which is is going to blow everything out of the water for this. Yeah. There's some Penelope's there in that 40, which I know a lot of people like, and I do too. So I guess the question is, have you had any of these? Have you bought any of these? And what did you think of them? Like I said, I think there's 2 that are not so bad. The rest of these, none of them are bad, but they're not like fantastic. Don't give anybody these for gifts. Don't do that. Like, if you have a holiday party and you can get a bottle of one of these and try it out with friends, I think that's a great idea. That Hayes Parker is punching way above its weight. Hopefully it's not adulterated, but I don't know. The Lazy River, not worth $40, but it's pretty good. Anyway, so that's what I think of these. Should I do more videos about the Total Wine things? Maybe I could get them to let me do it in the store. Would that be crazy? That would be crazy. Because there's a lot. Like, there's another probably 12 brands that I couldn't do here because they don't have, either didn't have them in the store or they don't have the Flyboys. I mentioned the 2 stars earlier. Yeah, I'm gonna dump all of these into one glass. Let's see what happens. Does this make for a better whiskey? It probably does not. I'm gonna dump everything here into probably an infinity bottle, but everything here is so basic. The Tennessee whiskeys, when I first tasted them, they were fine, but I kind of think they're mediocre. So now we got a giant glass of whiskey. Let's give there a stir, and there is a nose. Alcohol pops right off. Yeah, everything loses everything. Everything just goes away at this point. Certainly there's caramel, which I've noted as a flavor across a lot of these, but everything pretty much just goes away. So what should we do next? What would you like me to see me do? The Total Wine Challenge, the whatever. Thinking about doing a challenge against Jack Daniels. If you prefer something else, let me know. But this has been fun and so much whiskey. I've been Eric Luschenegger, the host of Bourbon Friday. I'll see you next time.
To stay up to date, follow us on social. We are at Bourbon Fridays on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. See you next time.